All right, guys. So obviously, I know Womack had asked specifically that we have some, you know, uh, something about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and honestly, she was a brilliant legal mind and was an amazing woman, um, very strong, and fought for women's rights for a lot of things, which, as a child of a single mother, is very important to me. And I know it's very important to Womack and probably a bunch of us. So I just want to start with that. And sorry to be a downer before we go into this update. And a lot of things happened this week, but that's the most important thing. And honestly, it's hard to put kind of the thoughts together. I didn't put notes or anything. I just, it's me shooting from the hip here, and it's a very sad situation, a very big deal for a lot of reasons, mostly just for her family. It's sad for them. It's tough to lose anyone, um, especially from cancer, which is terrible, and you know it's awful. And I lost my grandmother to pancreatic cancer, so it's not. It's a tough thing, and I just want to start with saying that I hope, and pray for her family that they can get through this because they're going through a tough time. That's the first thing. Now, the second thing is all these people who, said, to quote some of them, use my words against me. If it's an election year and it's our guy, we're not going to do it. That is complete and utter horseshit. And we need to go and make sure people go and vote these guys out. I was going to go vote by mail. Now I'm going to go to Nats Park, early voting. It opens October 27th in D.C. The Board of Elections has the spots that early voting's open all over the place. But not to get too political here because it is fantasy football and it's supposed to be a joke and fun, but yeah, it's a big deal. And one of the things that everyone growing up always taught me was that your word is your bond, and if you can't trust your word, then you're frankly not worth shit. And so all the Republicans who said, "Oh, we're not going to do this. It's an election year. We're not going to, if it's our guy," who are now going back on it, kindly go fuck yourselves because you're full of shit and you're not true to your word. So again, I'm sorry that it has to be this way and that we have to open with 3.5 minutes of me having a very somber conversation. But I think, given the events of this week, it's important. So on to the actual fantasy football stuff, the joking stuff, which again, very, very hard for me to do. I'm filming this on Wednesday afternoon. It's about noon. I took notes, but it was something where I really had to stop and think because it's been a rough week for me. Okay, so to start with this week, fire Adam Gase. I think Mo would agree with that. You can't say anything else. He clearly doesn't know what he's doing. You run the ball 2 times in a row, and you have Frank Gore, and he's killing it. He's gotten 15 yards, and then he got 7 yards, so it's 2nd and 3. And you decide, oh, they're stacking the box. We're not going to throw play action behind him. Let's have Frank Gore run into 9 people. Guy needs to get fired. Done. San Francisco lost 2 of their best defensive linemen, in addition to then also losing their quarterback and their running back, which hurts my fantasy team. We'll get to that later. But if you're given something, you got to go with it. And just the fact that he clearly doesn't know what he's doing, he needs to get fired. I don't know what the solution is. I don't know who the solution is, but it's clearly not a guy who, when he doesn't have Peyton Manning as his quarterback, is terrible. And I think a really good example of that is how good Ryan Tannehill's been doing. Obviously, limited offense, not necessarily needs to do a ton because he has Derrick Henry, but Tannehill's killing it without Adam Gase. When with Adam Gase, Tannehill was like, "Hey, you're a terrible quarterback. You're going to be gone." I think you got to look at it that I could go out there with my very limited coaching experience and say, "Hey, Peyton, call the game," and just stand there and do nothing. So there's really a problem there, and Adam Gase needs to go. Speaking of Mo, I mean it was a very close game. Originally, it was projected to be 0.6 of a point separating Mo and I, and then for a variety of things, mostly Raheem Mostert having a big day before he gets hurt, really kind of hurt Mo. He needed something like 47 points out of Henry Ruggs III, which A, a wide receiver getting 47 points rarely happens, and B, especially Ruggs being hurt. I think Ruggs is going to be good, but he needed 45 points from Henry Ruggs. That just it wasn't going to happen. But other than that, it was pretty good for Mo. He had a good week against me, and it was tough, but it is what it is. Andre, I just want to address something to you because you and I have had a couple conversations now. Is Daniel Jones good? Because, I mean, he lost a fumble, he had 2 interceptions, and he scored you all of 11 points. And just for perspective, Andre, 3/4 of my team individually outscored Daniel Jones. And actually, in my other league, my defense, which is the Chicago defense, outscored Daniel Jones. So, is Daniel Jones good, Andre? We don't know. And then kind of my short little recap, my other note here is fire Adam Gase again. I'll show you guys right at the top here. I know it's, fire Adam Gase, hashtag. And then last note right there, fire Adam Gase again. All right. Looking back again, Mo had the tough week against me. Again, it was real tough. LA really should have played Cam Newton this week. He killed it, gets 40 some odd points, and then, she sits him on the bench. And if I remember correctly, her quarterback did pretty well, but not nearly as good as Cam Newton did. So, really, she should have started Cam Newton. Jarrell and Womack, again, the game of the week that Womack was very upset, personally, with what I said last week about Mahomes, never finishing it for her. Again, Mahomes, not really help again this week. He had a big week. He didn't have his best week. He did throw for 2 touchdowns, but then Jarrell picking up Josh Allen against Miami Dolphins, which at this point, I'm starting Gardner Minshew this week for Thursday night against the Dolphins because A, Dolphins are playing on a short week, and B, Josh Allen torched them for 400 some odd yards and a bunch of touchdowns, and Gardner Minshew has a 6-2 touchdown to interception ratio. So I got to figure going into this week that Gardner Minshew is going to have a big week against the Dolphins, and I'll get back to that later. Pat's team loyalty, man, killed him. He really should have started Russell Wilson against New England. As a Jets fan, I understand why he did it. But there's a reason I started Raheem Mostert against the Jets, even though I'm a Jets fan. Pat really should have started Russell Wilson. That being said, I don't know that would have mattered because Leonard Fournette having an insane day also hurt Pat. But that's how things happen sometimes. That's how it shakes out. Joey and Alex, probably the most competitive game going into Monday night. Joey needed a bunch of points to catch up to Alex, which he ended up getting because Dalvin Kamara. Kind of what I said about Mo earlier with needing wide receivers to get a lot of points doesn't really happen. But with running backs, that'll happen. You'll get a bunch of points. And Kamara getting 33 points ended up pushing Joey up over the top. Now, to Andre, because you're going to be mad at me, so I'm going to tell you right now. Daniel Jones is trash. Jenna's half of Jenna's team outscored Daniel Jones individually. Not even like, hey, these 5 people together outscored Daniel Jones. No, individual players on Jenna's team outscored Daniel Jones. Andre, I love you. I'm a Jets. I get it. I'm a Jets fan. I love Sam Darnold. And the other league, I drafted Sam Darnold with my last overall pick because I was like, you know what? Maybe they get it right this year. They got Mekhi Becton, and he's been killing it. He's the number 1 graded rookie through 2 weeks. But I am not starting Sam Darnold every week because I know right now, with Adam Gase being a terrible offensive coordinator and offensive coach, you can't rely on him. Sam Darnold will have some big weeks. He will. Daniel Jones is not going to have a big week. At one point, Andre, he had -3 points as a quarterback. -3 points. You see that out of defenses that get blown out. But no, it was your quarterback, who you insist is going to be good, with 3 turnovers, a lost fumble, and 2 interceptions. And what I was saying about the 6-2 for Gardner Minshew, yeah, Gardner Minshew threw 2 interceptions last week, but he also had 300 yards and a bunch of touchdowns. So it balances out. You take the good with the bad. I don't want to harp on you too much, Andre, mostly because, you know, New Yorkers got to stick together, especially with the Yankees this year not being as great as we'd hoped because everybody's hurt. But, yeah, I'm telling you as your friend because I love you. You need to go a different direction. Daniel Jones ain't going to do it. All right, so looking forward to this week. Andre, I'm starting with you again, and this was not originally planned this way. I wasn't going to go on as long, but, you know, here we go. Is Mahomes finally going to help Womack win a game? Womack has big weeks, and it helps Womack, but she can't seem to get there. Mahomes gets her there, but then the rest of her team lets her down. I think against Daniel Jones this week, I think it's not going to matter because I think Mahomes is going to put up, 35 points again, and Jones will put up 11, and we'll be good to go from there. So, Devontae Adams being hurt could negatively impact Pat's team. Obviously, I'm doing this on Wednesday morning or afternoon now. It's 12:30, but I don't know what's going to happen. People could make trades. People could drop people. I picked up Devontae Freeman this week because Raheem Mostert's hurt. So I need another running back. I tried to get Jerick McKinnon. Whoever got him, congrats to you. I think that was a good choice. I think Devonta Freeman is going to be pretty good too. But, I don't know what's going to happen. But Devontae Adams being hurt is really going to impact Pat's game plan this week. He, can be counted on to get you a lot of points, and that's going to be tough for him. So Jack's game this week, it's going to be tough. Jack is going to need Deshaun Watson to come up big. But really the question is going to be, is Dak going to have another huge week? Dak put up 42.5 points this week, I believe. As I said to Womack last year, long-term, not sustainable. Like with Mahomes. It's not long-term sustainable. You're not going to score 42 points every week. But Dak could do it, again once in a while. And that might help. I don't know. We'll see. We got to figure out how long this week's going to go. Closest game of the week right now, anticipated to be 0.4 of a point. But that is without Saquon. And whoever has Saquon, Jenna, I would suggest you put him on IR and find somebody else. Because I want this to be competitive. Khan said he wanted it to be a competitive league. So I'm trying to help people out here by saying, listen, if your players are hurt, we have 4 IR spots. Use them. Okay? That's what they are there for. So you could pick people up. Honestly, at this point with Saquon with an ACL tear, I think you could drop him because he's not going to do any good for you and you can't keep him. But Jenna, pick up a running back. That 0.4 of a point is going to change automatically by whatever running back Jenna puts in there. Now the real tough, game is going to be Khan's game because Christian McCaffrey's out. He's out probably for a couple weeks. High ankle sprain, it's tough. It could be 6 weeks, could be 8 weeks, could be 3, could be 4. You don't know. It's kind of a crapshoot. So, is that going to sink Khan's season? Is it going to sink the start of Khan's season? Is he going to be able to catch up on the back end? We don't know. we gotta wait and see. Raheem Mostert for me, likely out. I think technically he's listed as doubtful, but everybody's projecting him to be out this week. Kind of a shame because it is a very good game for them that they would do a lot of damage if they had the opportunity to play. If Mostert was healthy, they would kill it, especially given that Jimmy Garoppolo is also hurt, so they'd probably lean heavily on the run game. So again, whoever got McKinnon, good job, good luck, and whoever has Tevin Coleman too, it's going to work out well for you. So my picks for the week, the commissioner's picks here, are going to be L.A., Womack, Jack, Mo, Joey, and myself. Again, Alex, I told you I'm going to pick, as long as that's your team name, I'm going to pick against you every single week. I'll tell you that right now. Ain't nobody got respect for your team name. It's not funny. It's not intelligent. Doesn't require a lot. And my team name is Password is Taco. And I know that requires nothing because it's from a TV show. I stole it from a TV show. Normally, I do try to do puns. It's a fun thing. Multiple Scoregasm, which is Womack's team. Funny. Joey's, which is Washington Department of F, and it cuts off. I don't know, Joey, if that was supposed to be a longer thing or whatever. But it intelligent. It's funny. Alex, your team name does not require any intelligence, any forethought. And again, my name is Password is Taco, so I'm, I know what I'm talking about here. So that's it. As always, I'm going to end all these videos now with 2 thoughts. Make sure you go out and vote, and don't let bullshit like this happen, because, it's a disgrace to the institution that now we're in charge. It's our guy. We're going to do whatever we want. An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. But long term, you got to figure out here, Mitch McConnell, is it worth it to win the battle, lose the war, or do you give your people political cover and not force Susan Collins to lose her seat and Cory Gardner and Steve Tester wins, or Steve Bullock wins in Montana and you lose? So which would you rather have? Because personally, I'd rather win the entire thing. Because if Joe Biden wins and McConnell loses and the Senate and the House and the presidency are all Democrats, have fun sitting and doing nothing for 2 years, Mitch, because nothing's going to get done. Sorry. And again, not to bring it back to that because it wasn't supposed to be political, but Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a brilliant legal mind and was a credit to the profession. And the fact that we're now going to play politics with this and we're not going to follow the rules that were set by the Republicans by this whole thing is disgraceful. And the fact that basically you're gonna appoint somebody who has said that basically, oh, we want to create a religious country where everybody has to be Christian, and that may be taking her comments out of context, but last I checked, First Amendment is still in play. It specifically reads, Congress shall make no laws pertaining to the establishment of a religion. That's my political thought, and that's my thought on Ruth Bader Ginsburg and how the Republicans are gonna be stupid and screw this up and ruin it for everyone again. Final thought: fire Adam Gase as always, because fire Adam Gase. That's pretty much all I can do. I don't know if you guys liked the thumbnail last week, the Brady sad after he threw the pick sixes and all that. I'm trying to find a funny picture of Adam Gase, and then we'll go from there. All right. Good luck to everyone this week, and go vote. If you're in D.C. or near D.C., I would say go see Ruth Bader Ginsburg and pay your respects while she's lying in state or while she's in repose at the Supreme Court. I'm probably going to go. So if you want to meet up with me or whatever, let me know. Good luck, guys, and let's have another fun week.